My name is Gus Olson, an ex-engineer turned dating coach for logical men. And in the past year, I've dated over 100 amazing women. Over time, I've observed certain scientific laws that can be translated onto the dating world. And today, we're going to take a look at 3 laws of physics and Isaac Newton and how those laws translate from physics to dating. If you can internalize these laws and live by them, this will do much more for your dating life than memorizing random pickup lines or trying to find the perfect text to send her. This has the potential to actually change your dating life. Let's go. First law of inertia. A body at rest stays at rest, and a body at motion stays in motion, unless acted by an external force. So in dating, if you're not taking real, tangible action, nothing will change. I see so many guys complaining about their dating lives, and yet they are clearly violating this first rule. They don't do anything and stay at rest. The only real actions that count as far as success in dating is how many women you put yourself in front of and how well you can do it. Everything else is just noise. In this case, the external force F equals the number of women that you talk to multiplied by your dating social skills. If you think that you're spending a lot of time working on your dating life, but you've only talked to 5 girls in the last 30 days, you're applying the external force in the wrong areas and you will stay at rest. This explains why, unfortunately, most men never see the success in dating, because they'll find all of the different things that they can do that feels like working on their dating life, rather than actually going out there and talking to women. Likewise, if you're talking to 100 girls every month and seeing no results, the problem is the way you talk to them, your dating social skills. If all you can do is go up to a girl, tell her she looks pretty, ask where she's going, and then ask for her Instagram, then your dating social skills are unfortunately very poor, and the force F you apply will be very minimal. And hence, your dating life will stay at rest. Ask yourself honestly, how good are your flirting, your active listening, and storytelling skills? How charismatic and confident are you right now? Also, this law explains why the 2 camps of men, those with successful dating lives and those with miserable dating lives, often cannot relate to each other. When you're at rest, it's very difficult to get started. You apply some minimum force F and nothing changes and you stay at rest. And then you think that the whole world has conspired against you and that you will stay at this position forever and you cannot change. However, when you're already in motion and dating lots of women, it feels pretty easy and you don't need to apply as much force F to keep going. So it does get easier over time. But if you're currently at rest, it is going to take a lot of force and a lot of effort in the right areas to get going. Second law, force and acceleration. The acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting upon it and inversely proportional to its mass. So why do some guys get results very fast and other guys improve extremely slowly? There are 2 things that will determine how fast your progress is. The first we already discussed, the net force F, aka effort you are putting into your dating life. So let's actually talk about effort. Do you have a plan on how you'll get over approach anxiety? Have you mapped out at which times, where, and when you'll go out to talk to at least 30 women per week? Do you have a clear step-by-step strategy of what you're going to say once you start talking to these women? What will you say in the first 10 seconds? How are you going to stack, generate conversational topics, and get to the hook point? How will you make sure that they get invested enough so they want to stay and talk to you for at least 10 minutes? How will you ask them on a date, and how will you make sure that they increase the chances of them actually showing up to the date? What are you going to do when harsh rejections and resistance kicks in and you want to quit? How will you stay consistent week after week? Who's going to listen to your conversations and help you improve? What support groups will you have to make sure that you implement these steps and execute on these steps day after day? If you're listening to this and thinking, yeah, well, I actually haven't thought about any of this, then there's your answer. Your current effort is not that high. The other side of the equation is the mass M, which in dating means the emotional baggage and limiting beliefs holding you back. The bigger the mass, the slower your progress will be. Every once in a while, I get messages from guys trying to explain their situation to me. They are too short, not the right ethnicity, not good looking enough, and essentially their situation is just hopeless. So even if I would take this guy, give him the right strategy, and literally handhold him through the entire process, like I do with my other students, he won't get results because he's already been defeated in his mind, and he will never put 100% effort behind his actions because he doesn't believe that it can happen. So ask yourself, what limiting beliefs about yourself and your dating life do you currently hold? Do you feel like it's possible for you to improve? If you carry a lot of emotional baggage and limiting beliefs, it's going to be very hard to accelerate your dating life. So how do you drop these things? First, find other people in your shoes who are able to improve. For example, just on my channel, I have many transformational stories with guys who are introverted, shy techies, young, inexperienced guys who never dated, short, scrawny looking dudes. And if you're any of those, here's your proof. And if you don't find any cases there, look for it on other channels. Second, you must convince yourself that it's possible for you to do this. Not only because it's true, but because without believing it, you will never take 100% actions and you will manifest your limiting beliefs into reality. And the third law of Newton, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Oftentimes, guys talk about their experiences approaching a girl in real life and how they got rejected badly. And the conclusion they often make from this is that day game doesn't work. However, that conclusion is simply not valid because there are plenty of other guys for whom it does work. The third law teaches us that the correct conclusion in this case would be, if all you get is rejections, the fault is in your actions. I often say this with myself. Sometimes there are days where I go out and I'm in a very logical, analytical mode because I worked the whole day and I'm not very present. And the interactions are quite short and girls tell me that they need to go. When this happens, I'm reminded that I need to fix my state. So that's why nowadays I usually try to go for an exercise or for a run before I go out, so I am there in my body. Same with skills. For example, I used to be quite bad at getting women to stop to talk to me as they would just walk past me. So I worked on it and I got a lot better. I didn't change anything about my appearance, where I approach, or what kind of girls I approach. I just changed the way I approach, which is the action. And the reaction of women improved as a result. They started to stop and talk to me more often and more often. So if you're currently getting mostly negative rejections, where exactly are you getting the negative reactions and how can you improve the actions that you're taking? I would also iterate on this law and say, for every inaction, there is an equal and opposite reaction. If you see a girl that you want to talk to but actually don't talk to her, there is a reaction of disappointment in yourself. If you're avoiding on working on this part of your life altogether and procrastinating, you will get frustrated with yourself and your dating life. And this frustration will build up more and more as the time goes on. In essence, everything that you do or don't do will have some sort of effect on your dating life. So these are the few things that physics and Sir Isaac Newton can teach us about success in dating. Now, if you'd like to get my help on applying your force on the right type of actions in your dating life, in order to massively accelerate your progress, there's a link in the description where you can book a completely free diagnostic call personally with me one-on-one. We will take a look at your current dating life and what actions you can take in order to improve it. Until next time.